Good morning, parents.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Divine Akeza, and I'll be the one moderating the panel of today. And before we get started, I would like the parents to introduce themselves shortly, so you get to know them, and then we bounce in with the panel. Let's start with Papa Joanna on my left-hand side.
Good morning. I thought it's always the culture, ladies first. I would think we start with the far end, then I'll be last.
That's also
Sorry.
fine.
Thank you.
I'll skip the rule a bit for interest of the time. Cliff Murigande, I'm Papa Eza, but Miss Becky, the morning she was asking me, shall I call you Papa Iri or Papa Eza? So I also have a son here at Discovery called Iri. Nice to be here.
Good morning. My name is Hope. I'm Mama Bennett. I don't see Bennett. He's back there. I also have a 3-year-old at Discovery, Gracie.
Right. Thank you very much. My name is Fred Karagwe. I'm Papa Joanna. And our eldest son also was here, but now he's in Wellspring, but he's a graduate from Discovery. Thank you.
Yes, so you've had a brief introduction about them. So this panel is for us to discuss about different aspects of raising and educating children to become successful, balanced, and grounded adults. We ask these parents to be honest, because we know this decision that you're all about to take is a serious decision. And it's not just about the school, it's about the environment, it's about their personalities. So we ask them to really be honest. So I hope you're all going to be engaged. If you have something to say, please let us know. And even to the ones on the panel, if there is something you'd like to add on, or if you have thoughts about something another person has just talked about, feel free to raise it. Okay? So we're going to start with Papa Yeza. So your child is your oldest. So this decision isn't really theoretical. When your oldest enters secondary, I know you have concerns. Things now start being serious. It's no longer a child in primary, nursery. It's now secondary, heading to university and real life out there. You become more alert. So I wanted to know, what did you need to see before trusting Discovery with this next stage with your oldest child? What did you need to see from us for you to actually make this decision and say, you know what, I'm bringing Yeza to Discovery Middle School? What did you need to see from us?
Thanks. And it's not an easy question. And I'll try to be honest. When it comes to, she's our firstborn. It's the first time to see, a kid turning 12. I know things are changing. Even the way you communicate, there's some new requirements, rules, procedures you have to follow. And even strong arguments you have. I know today she's the MC. So there's a lot, especially us. We also have values we are looking forward to. It becomes very tricky and difficult to make the right decision. So with Discovery, given that, been with Discovery for a number of years, and she started, I think, her nursery at Discovery, that one key thing that we continue looking forward to are those core values before math, English, science, French, and all that. Will this school, the secondary school of Discovery, continue giving her the right values, the discipline, the honesty, the authenticity, those values we're looking we wanted to see them still as you implement or establish your secondary school. Second, there is a model that we like about Discovery. A child by the name. Not on the name because you call them or the way you receive them at the parking, which is actually amazing, but how you treat them by, it's a personalized education, if I can put it that way. It's a personalized education. So we wanted to see that even at the level of secondary. We had a meeting. I think we had a number of meetings with the teachers, and they gave us that commitment. We will continue. We have that kind of personalized education even in the secondary school. Third, then we said, okay, let's come to the academics. How will the academics going to be structured? And then we were convinced. So we looked into the values, look at how the education will be delivered. It was going to continue being personalized. Third, then the content, what they're going to teach and how. And we were convinced. We took that decision.
All right, thank you so much. Moving on to Mama Bennett, I see you're also agreeing with what he's saying. Your child is moving into this next stage, and you've seen this kind of support and holistic formation they've actually received. So as a parent whose firstborn is entering secondary, what kind of support did you need to believe your child wouldn't get lost in this next stage?
Yeah, for me, I looked at with Discovery how through his entire time at Discovery, Bennett has been known. He's not just been a member of whatever random class. And so I felt confident going into middle school that it would be the same. Not every learner, not every child learns the same way. And I feel like at Discovery, the teachers are well enough equipped to recognize different learning styles and to adapt and work with a child based on their actual needs and not just the baseline in a class.
Oh, good. Mama Manata, what are your thoughts on this?
I thank you so much. Thanks for the question. If you could just repeat it again.
Yes. So I asked her. Sorry. So as a parent whose firstborn was entering secondary, what kind of support did she need to actually believe that her child was not going to get lost in the next stage of life, which was secondary school?
Okay, so I've seen tremendous growth on Manasa. And I think you would expect that adolescence is a very critical stage of a child. And at times, you want them to be well supported, not only academically, but personally. So there are quite a number of things that I've seen, I think, as Manasa progressed. Like what I said, there was quite tremendous growth from her primary to her now middle school. I would mention that personally, like what Papa Yeza said, is the part of them supporting the person as a person personally and in the values of the institution, which aligns with my values. The Christian values are also embedded therein. But I teach at a university, and our university supports quite a lot of things where I lead a program. But what I noticed is how do you make a student future ready? So when we came for Discovery, when they convinced us to join the middle school, of course I was worried because this is the first time it was being offered. But one of the things that they said, they were going to make them future ready, of which I've seen that. There are quite a number of things that aligns with what I believe. There's a lot of critical thinking that they support. Other than them just really learning the academics, I've seen quite a number of projects that involves that. One, critical thinking. Two, entrepreneurial thinking. Because I think as we go on, there's need more so for the continent to have that entrepreneurial thinking. I know Manasa loves studio. So which is quite exciting. She actually had an idea. Critical, other than entrepreneurial thinking, there is the part of teamwork. She came this other time and came and said, "Mom, you think it's only your students who had group work? It's not easy," which I think it's critical skill that they have to learn to work with others. She had a chart, she was working, and they were working on SDGs. I was like, oh, interesting. At this stage, so I thought it was quite interesting. Then that means she's able to lead herself and lead others and manage those group dynamics. And yes, the independence, I've seen quite a lot of independence in Manasseh and owning her own journey, preparing for her exams. There's quite a lot of changes that I really appreciate. But also personally, they say a village raises a child. And I've seen that Discovery has really supported me on this. There was a time when I was talking to Manasseh about something, about hair growing up and a lot of changes happening. And I was like, okay. Then she said, oh, we actually discussed that in our girls' club with Miss Laura. I was like, okay, I feel supported in that area. So they talked more about how they're growing and the different changes that are coming from there. So there's quite a lot of support. I like that there was a time I actually had a meeting with Miss Laura and I don't know if Miss Laura and part of the workmates, and they were discussing me about some behavioral issues that we actually had to support from home, also from school, which shows that they're not really just concerned about the academics. And recently she called me, Manasseh hasn't been feeling well, so you need to check on her at school. So I think that holistic approach, that also because it's very personalized, it's a small group, and they're able to support all students. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mama Manasseh. On that note, let me come back to Mama Bennett. Let's make it a little bit more personal. What has Discovery seen or supported in your child that a larger or less personal school might easily miss? That you could point out, you know what, Discovery has seen this, has supported this in my child, in Bennett, that you think a larger or a less personal school might actually easily miss?
That's a good question. So Bennett is very, how do I say this? He's a very project-based type learner. And so I think this year in Discovery and in Studio, this has really helped Bennett to flourish way beyond what I would have thought was possible a year or two ago. And so I think having the diversity of teaching styles and curriculum, different subjects is really what helps different childs flourish. Some students may be very, very strong in language. Some students are going to be very strong in science and tech or math. And so the fact that the students are given opportunity to grow and shine where they, where their interests lie, I think is very helpful. In our last parent meeting, at the end of last term, I was asking the teachers, like, okay, what do you see could be the most beneficial thing that we could do for Bennett to help him grow in what he's showing interest in? And without a doubt, all three of them were like coding, computer, robotics. I mean, and it's the fact that all of them know that about Bennett, even though one teaches English, one teaches math, but they recognize the interest in what drives him. So in that, I think he feels very supported, and we feel supported as a family, knowing that, we're not just going to cram whatever the textbooks, whatever curriculum, we're not just going to push. We're also going to help children thrive, where their interests lie.
I love that. I really do. Thank you so much, Mama Bennett, for sharing that. Papa Joanna, how are you doing? You've been quiet for some good time. It's your turn now. So you have an older child in another school. So surely choosing discovery was not just you choosing blindly. There is something you have to compare with. So having Joanna's older brother elsewhere, what made you choose discovery for Joanna?
He nearly came back. If that was possible, he would have come back.
Oh, wow, I love that. Now you're going to tell us why. Why? What have you seen in discovery? Why have Joanna stay here? Why think, if it was possible, Josh would be back? Take us through that.
Thank you very much. First of all, we had an example, having Joshua going through all the stages in discovery. It was a good testimony. So we didn't have anything to complain about. Even where he is, he's excelling. His performance is quite good. So there was nothing that would hold us back. Even him, if there would be his class equivalent, I think he wouldn't hesitate to come back. So from the beginning, I would say that choosing discovery, it just came by chance. We never knew about it. Somebody told us about discovery, and then we discovered it. How did we discover it? The first thing was trust, because I knew some of the people in the leadership, and these are the people that I knew from quite a long time, and these are the people that I had a lot of esteem in. So I said, if these people, I've known them for quite some times in a positive way, if they are putting up something, it has to reflect their personality. So that was the first thing. The second thing was the connection between, this education takes three. There is the person, the student, or the child, the school, and then the parents. That link is never broken in discovery. We've seen that there is a continuity. There's no talking about education, talking about values. There's a continuity. So there's no, there would be times where a child would be confused. When they get home, they hear this. When they go to school, they hear a different thing. But here, I've seen that continuity. I'm not an expert in education, but at least I would say I'm an expert in raising a kid and seeing the progress. So I've seen that. I've never seen a controversy in terms of how the child understands, how the child relates the upbringing and the education. So it's a continuity. So the home will try to raise the kid, and then the discovery instill these sciences and all that, but in a way that does not bring any controversy. It rather completes what we have at home. The other thing is they don't look down on anything. So anytime you have a concern with a kid, when you communicate with discovery, you get a feedback. They don't look down on anything. And Mama Manasseh just pointed out about something that happened with Manasseh. It also happened with our daughter. Something came up, and we discussed while talking at home. We discussed about that, and I told her, anything you see, while at school, you need to talk to an elder at school, a teacher or somebody. While at home, you need to talk to us, and we need to make sure that we communicate. So there was something that happened with our child. She reported it at home, and then we told her we're going to discuss it with the school. And the way that issue was settled, I think she's going to talk about it even in years to come. It was something very positive that shows that, yes, larger schools, they have their positive sides. But that thing of looking at a child individually and not looking down on anything, this is something that is positive. This is something that is adding on the development of a child. I'll end up with one thing. I would say it's a question. In the world, if you look at the world, do you think the people that cause most hurt in the world, are they educated or uneducated people? That's a question to all of us. The people that cause most harm in the world, are they educated people or uneducated people? So maybe we'll come to answer that, and then you'll understand why I'm asking that question. Because what we are looking at the world, it's not only sciences and all that, because we have so many with all those. But are they the ones that are impacting positively in the world? No. So values are number one. The education will follow, because values, education without values will only do what we see. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yes. You've touched on that question. We'll probably have some parents from the audience after the panel answer that question. You talked about larger, bigger schools. And I'm just wondering, for the schools or people, parents comparing Discovery to larger schools or more established schools, what do you think they should be looking for beyond the buildings and the reputation, the names built when it comes to education and raising children, especially adolescents?
Again, I'll go back to my last statement. It's about, you might have these fancy, big, large schools with a crowd. But again, if you look at the substance, you know, they might have the experience, the infrastructure, all that support education. But you need to build also the inner person. That inner person, sometimes they are lost in the crowd, or they are so much liberal to extent where things like values are do not really matter. So you have that education, but which is not lying on a strong, valued inner person. That's when you end up with having a product of people who understand so much, but whose practical things are not as you would expect. So I would say that the advantage of this school is having a focus on building that inner person. And we see that because I've seen it in my son, in our son, and I've seen it also in our daughter. So that's area of focusing also on building the inner person with values. Myself, I'm a Christian, so when I see Christian values instilled into my child, I'm confident that even the education she's going to acquire will be built on a good person. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Papa Joanna. Parents, where is the warm applause? They're really giving us insights, right? Am I the only one who is getting somewhere with them? I see some of you nodding your head. All right, Mama Manata, you're not only a Discovery parent, you also work with young adults closely, those that are close to university and work. You see what happens. You know what's going on when students arrive with or without strong formation. I know you've probably seen both sides. So from your perspective, working with young adults, what makes a student truly ready for university and the future beyond the grades?
Okay, thank you. I think I might also still touch on some of the things that I have covered previously. And I think Papa Joanna touched on some of the things. There is a saying in the Bible that says, if the foundations are broken, what can a righteous person do? So it's important that the values are also solid. It's important that the person is able not to just be able to lead others, but to lead themselves. So these are quite critical foundational skills that we look for, because when they come to university, it's the first time that they're actually alone. It's the first time that they have to lead their own life. It's the first time that a parent might not be there to check on them. So you would want them to be independent. At the same time, not that independence that is careless. Because once they're careless with their lives, we know there's quite a lot happening in this world. But they are able to stop themselves when they are about to be with a crowd that is not really good. So you see that in Discovery, they've managed to actually have those foundational values that are key for someone to thrive at a university. Because at a university, you find some students that you have to follow up to come to class, because most probably the parent is not there, and you have to tell them, okay, are you coming to class? You don't want such students. They would stay in their rooms. And self-control, because self-control is key, because if a student comes and on their gadgets, they are not able to attend school and all that. And I see we have actually partnered with Discovery on that. There was a session that we actually came talking about how do we ensure that the correct use of gadgets and monitor all that. So if you look at those key skills, like independence, like self-control, like what I said, leading self, leading others, and entrepreneurial thinking, and the support systems that are there. But they say you raise a child to let them go, not to keep them. So if you let them go, what kind of a citizen are they going to be there out in the world? I like what Papa Joanna just said, is like, who are causing the most harm? Is that person a responsible citizen who is able to actually carry out all the things that are needed for them? Are they not going to cause harm to others? So when you look at that, I'm happy to actually say that I have seen those key skills and key values being actually inculcated in my daughter Manasa. And I like that as we look forward for university, she looks more prepared for that. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. One last question that we can actually all talk about. You are all loyal Discovery parents, I could say. What would you ask other loyal parents not to stay silent about when it comes to raising adolescents, when it comes to educating the students, when it comes to preparing the students to another life beyond the grades out there in university and workplaces? So what would you advise or ask the other loyal parents not to stay silent about? It's open to all of you to actually reflect and tell to our loyal parents. We can start with Papayeza. He's been really quiet. He looks like he's thinking deeper and deeper. I would want to hear what he's actually thinking about. Papayeza.
Thank you for the question. I believe we are all touching about values, and that's the foundation of whatever we're going to build in the lives of our children. Anything that is against those values must be communicated. Whether from the child to the classmates, or from the teacher to the child, the classmates. Anything outside that must be communicated. Let's pick an example. Any kind of, for the lack of words, let's say any kind of abuse, any kind of abuse in class, or and especially in this time and age, where there is a lot of information running all over. It's social media and internet, and the children have access to. If something that is no longer on social media but being seen now there's a behavior or a change or in the child, I believe that must be communicated. But to generalize whatever is against X, Y, Z values that make the foundation strong must be communicated. Like we all agree that the values are the foundation. Then comes the structure of the education. Then comes also whatever is being taught as a subject. But if the foundation is wobbly, then there's a problem. So I believe whatever is shaking the foundation must be shared from the teacher to the parent, from the child to the parent to the child, and always, yes, if I can put it that way.
Thank you so much, Papa Yeza. Mama Bennett, what's your say on this?
You know, at this age that our kids are at, they're the most influential things in their lives are no longer us.
Yes, true.
Unfortunately. So it's their peers. And so I think that's one of the things also that I love about Discovery. Like the classes are small enough, the groups of friends are tight. Most of them have been together for years and years. And so when there are issues that arise, we're not left in the dark as parents, I think. The kids are typically free enough to share. If there's real problems, the teachers are free to share with us, and then we can collaborate and work for a solution together. So with us kind of as parents having a backseat now to the lives of our children's, that's always something that I'm a little bit concerned about. Like, who is he spending his entire day with? What is the character of that child? What are the values of the other families in the school? What are the values of the teachers that are also having a heavy influence on it? I mean, most of these teachers spend more time with our kids than we do because we're there at school all day, we're at work all day. So I think having that assurance that all these guys have talked about the values of the school. So having the assurance that the values are so rooted in what they do day in and day out, I think gives me a lot of peace.
I love that. Papa Joanna, what's your say on this?
One thing I would add on that is it's good to keep conversation, even though Mama Bennett says the most influential people are the peers. That is true. That is being true. We have also our role to play in knowing what is happening and not being left out. Well, you don't need to know every single detail of every single day, but at least those things that come out, those things that are very important, you need to come up with a way of getting access to it. So if there's something that has come up, you need to find a way of knowing about that so that you manage it together with the child, but with the school. So how do we do that? It's by creating a time of engaging the child. The child should know that when something has come up, they should feel free to come and discuss it with you. And even after that, they should also be assured that nothing dangerous will come from that. If there's something that's happened at school with a colleague, with a peer, or with either a staff or teacher or anything, they should feel comfortable enough and assured enough to come and discuss that with. If they're afraid of discussing that at school, they should at least be comfortable enough, come and discuss it at home, so that you find a way of addressing that. And that one, I've seen it. I've seen it. They are not afraid of course, they will not give you all the details because you are not of their age. They think you're too small for that sometimes. So at least they will give you a hint of what has happened, and you discuss with the school, with the teacher. Let me actually take this opportunity to thank I said today I'm not going to call her Miss Laura. I'm going to call her Madam, because everything seemed to be so formal today. So I really thank Miss Laura. She can wave at the back there. You
Yes.
know, that's why I'm saying she's Madam today, because she's done so much for our children. She was with our eldest son, and she knows how to be strict and loving at the same time. And that really, and with also all these values. So she has a way of being receptive if there is any complaint that comes from, or not complaint only, any concerns, anything that she thinks we can discuss, we discuss it very easily, and we know we're going to get results. And the results are going to be positive, not hurting, not frightening the child, but rather restoring confidence and actually that trust which helps them to keep discussing issues when they arise. That gives us also assurance that there's nothing that is going to come as a surprise, because there is a continuity communication with the school. I hope I've added something on that. Thank you very much.
Yes, you have. Thank you so much. Let's hear Mama Manatsa before I come back to you.
All
Yes.
right, thank you. Thank you again. I would say three things. One, not raising a brat, someone who has academics only and does not respect people. And I think I've seen Discovery trying to cultivate to ensure that a student is holistic, basically that they cover quite a lot on the students. We've talked about values, but they also do learning by doing, which basically means they do cooking. There was a video when we started. They do quite a lot of field trips, actually to ensure that there is no gap between what they are learning and what is actually happening in the industry. So there's quite a lot that happens. And the second one will be bullying. I think that is something that is not acceptable. Does the school create a safe environment for my child to be able to learn in a safe environment? And I would like to say, as I had said, there's quite a lot of support mechanism from the teachers, and at the same time from the peers. They are also doing group work. The third one will be abuse that comes from the teachers themselves. I think that is also something that is not acceptable. And I'm happy to say that Manasa really feels safe, feels supported. She actually loves her teachers. So thanks to all Manasa's teachers who have supported her. You know yourself. Thank you so much. So those are the three things that I will just leave you with. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. A round of applause for our panelists. That's
may-
not enough.
May I just
Yes.
add one thing?
Sure.
Thanks to Mamanasa of raising this. You know, I would like to point out something very, very important. Here in Discovery, something I've noticed. Instead of bullying a new student, they're actually aggressive in welcoming the student. This is something that I've seen. It is the opposite. That is a fact. When they see a new student, instead of bullying the student actually will be overwhelmed with the welcome attitude from all the peers. Yeah, that is something. I don't know how it came up. I don't know if it is an invention of the student, or it came from the teachers or the leaders. I don't know, but that is a fact. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. A round of applause for our panelists. They touched on something that is very, very key, partnership. I don't know if you heard that, partnership. We will not be able to achieve this if we do not work hand in hand with the parents, because Discovery is not trying to replace the parents in raising the kids or preparing them for the future. We're trying to work together so that you do your part, we do our part to raise these students. And we really hope after today we're going to have all the parents all in, 100% in, not one leg in and one out, both legs in. Just as much as our teachers are all in and we're all in, we want all the parents all in as well. And truly, if if we try to replace the parents, you are all going to be frustrated. But we're trying to empower the students as much as possible. So what we do at school and what you do at home, we want it to be, let me say, uniform. If we talk, let me touch it, I will not live without saying this. I spend most of my time at middle school. If we say no social media, it's no social media. I had to say that. Hooray to everybody who is with me on that note. Thank you so much. So before I let you guys go, I want to open the discussion to the public. If you have any positive contribution to our panel discussion or something you might want to add on, please, the time is now. Anybody from the audience, if you have something you might want to talk about, contribute to our panel discussion, the floor is yours. We still have the awesome lawyer parents with me here, in case you also have a question on what they touched on.
Thank you. My part is really tricky. My child was from national school.
Mm-hmm.
So her name is Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Raise up. Yeah, I like the way they welcomed her and the way she felt within the team. The next thing is that discovery. They know our children more than we do.
Oh, that's a
They
beautiful
actually,
compliment.
They actually discover some things that we don't know. They may tell you that your child is on social media at 6, yet you don't know. Especially us who are not very much in IT. We don't know. She can take my phone, goes to the social media, she chats with the kids, but discovery will know. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that my child is here. Thank you.
We appreciate that. Thank you so much, Mama Mercy. Thank you so much. Les parents francophones, est-ce que vous êtes là? Vous êtes vraiment calmes, hein? Vous pouvez même parler en français, il n'y a pas de problème.
So thank you so much. I found myself in English because of my daughters. My name is Clarice and I'm Ella's mom. She's there. Before joining Discovery, finding yourself in a new curriculum, as parents, we were so frustrated. And I can't imagine the kids. But the way they have been welcomed in Discovery was very, I don't know, it was amazing. So they found themselves, and we also find ourselves in the family, in the Discovery family. So what I appreciated in Discovery is that partnership that you said. You, as parents, you don't have any other choice unless to be with your kid. The partnership is on the top because on other schools, for example, on WhatsApp groups, nowadays we have to use technology. In other schools, most of them, on WhatsApp group, there is only admins has to the right to
only
to write
admins can text.
Yeah, only admins can text. But here is different, and the teachers are open, so you can't be missed. You can't lose any point with your kids. I can say much, but thank you so much, and keep it up.
Thank you so much, Mama Ella. Rwose n'ikinyarwanda turakivuga, ni karibu rwose babyeyi. Iyi discussion, iki kiganiro ni ukugira twese dufatikanye kubw'abana bacu. So rwose wumva yisanzura kuvuga mu kinyarwanda, mu gifaransa, mu cyongereza, usibye igiswahili kuko ndi wite nsigara, ariko rwose ni karibu. Yes, a microphone right here, please. Mr. Arnold. Yes.
Ok, bonjour tout le monde ici. J'aimerais bien demander à nos parents ou bien aux représentants qui sont là. C'est bien que je parle en français ou en kinyarwanda ou en swahili? Parce que I'm not good in English.
Français, Kinyarwanda, il n'y a pas de problème. I'll translate in English.
Maman, parce que je vais m'adresser beaucoup à Maman Natha, parce que on se connaît bien. Ou bien c'est bien que je parle en Kinyarwanda parce que tout le monde ne comprend. Je crois que tout le monde comprend bien le français.
Nta kibazo mwavuga mu Kinyarwanda turaza kumufasha.
Ok, ndabaza ngo vraiment j'ai bien apprécié ibyo mwavuze aho ngaho, surtout que cyane cyane ko mwavugaga ubwiza bw'ishuri. Jewe muri kamere yanjye sinshima gusa. Ese bye mujye mu translatinga abyumvira.
Ndahita translatinga ni musoza. Ndahita mucishirizamo.
Ngewe rero nkunda no kunenga.
Nta kibazo.
Cyangwa se kunenga iyo nabonye ikintu ariko. Nkakunda kubaza cyane cyane. Ababyeyi bari aho ngaho, vous avez bien mwapréciaga ibintu by'ishuri mwaritatse. Ndashaka mbabazi. Nta munsi n'umwe umwana yigeze aza akababwira ko il y a quelque chose qui n'a pas bien apprécié ku ishuri, il y a quelque chose qui ne va pas, et comme quoi amashuri, amasomo yiga, un professeur atishimiye, quoi encore, arya nabi, yiga amasaha menshi, atangira kare. Si nimba umunsi umwe yarabikubwiye, quelle a été votre réaction envers l'école? Mwigeze muza ku ishuri kubivuga?
Yes.
Ndacyakomeza.
Sorry.
Mwigeze muza kubivuga? Nimba se mutarakivuze, nimwahemukiye umwana cyangwa se nimwahemukiye ishuri mufatanije kurera? Voilà, nicyo kibazo cyane.
Yes, let me just try to translate a little bit so you understand what he was talking about. Sorry? No, for Mama Bennett. Yes. So he said he appreciates that you all talked about positive things about the school, and he wanted also to touch on what did not go well. So he asked, has there been at least one day when your child complained at home about something they didn't like at school, be it the teachers, be it the food, be it the environment, any complaint? And he's saying, what was your reaction towards that complaint? And have you talked to the school about it? If not, what are you going to do about it? So there is talking to the school about it. If you have not done it, does it not come off like you've hurt or put the child's concern on the side if you have not approached the school? So if you have approached the school, what was done about it? So appreciate the fact that you have talked about everything that you love and like about Discover International School, and would want to also hear that side that was not mentioned here. If there was ever a complaint home from your children about the school, the ways of working, the individuals, just touch on it. And if it was something that was covered, also touch on that as well. I think that question was for all. Nibzabose? Okay, he would want all of you to touch on. If we could have just 1 minute for every parent to, if you have something, of course.
Je peux commencer avec un cas de changement d'enseignant à l'époque avec Discovery. C'était vraiment un problème sérieux. Je m'appelle Yeza, c'était encore à l'école primaire. Dans une seule année, il y a eu changement de 3 enseignants. C'est-à-dire, chaque trimestre, il y avait un changement. Mais on a fait une année avec l'école, la direction. Ça n'a pas changé immédiatement, mais ça fait autour de 4 ans qu'on n'a pas eu ce genre d'expérience. Oui, les enseignants viennent, partent, mais au moins tu peux, comme Miss Laura, je la vois depuis 4 ans, je pense, ou plus. So, il y a, et puis on a même parlé de ça, il y a ce genre de communication, de l'enseignant aux parents, et du parent à l'enseignant, et de l'enfant. Enfin, c'est pas parfait, mais quand même, il y a cette communication. C'était mercredi ou l'autre lundi, je parlais avec Miss Laura un peu tard le soir. Elle reçoit des queries ou des concerns, et puis elle essaie de répondre, de trouver une solution. C'est pas parfait, mais au moins on apprécie qu'il y a ce genre de communication. Tout n'est pas parfait, tout ne peut pas être parfait. Mais au moins quand tu communiques, quand vous échangez le souci, le problème que vous avez, barasubiza. Hari ukuntu bakumva bakageza kugusubiza n'abana iyo barira cyangwa bafite ibibazo n'umwarimu bagira gute. Icyangombwa nuko njyewe n'umwarimu tuvugana, njyewe n'umwana tuvugana, n'umwarimu nawe akagira ako kantu rwose ngenda akabashimira. Ibibazo birahari ariko bagerageza hamwe natwe ababyeyi bagerageza gushaka igisubizo. Ahubwo bigaruka twiwe ku mubyeyi kwemeza yuko tuvugana n'umwarimu. Bagira inama nyinshi pe, byo bagira inama nyinshi, baraguhamagara, bagira nk'ubu turanga samedi, ejo bundi hazaba habaye ikindi kintu. No opportunité tuba dufite, nk'ubu nidusohoka ndi buganire n'abarimu bayeza mbabaze ukuntu bimeze. So niyo technique, nibwo buryo bwo kubona ibisubizo.
Merci beaucoup. I don't know if other parents have something to say or if Papa Yeza has covered for all of you. I think.
Kare hari umubyeyi twaganiye aravuga ngo kera turabana twebwe ntabwo okay nacyo reka wavuze ngo tunenge, reka nacyo ni mu buryo bwo kunenga abayobozi bari hano. Ikinyarwanda cyacu ni gikeya. Mwumvise nyuma ko yasetse cyane. Ikinyarwanda cyacu ni mugufi ni gike cyane. Ntabwo ari Discovery gusa, ni mu gihugu hose ikinyarwanda kiragenda kiba gikeya, cyane cyane mu mashuri tuvuga yuko ari amashuri meza, ururimi ruragenda ruba rukeya. Ibyo nabyo nagira ngo nkubwire ko muri rwa rwego rwo kuvuga ngo iyo habonetse ikintu ari ku mwana ari no ku mubyeyi, ese iyo tukibwiye ishuri, ese hari uburyo bwo kukibwira ishuri? Ese iyo shuri rya kimenye hari icyo ishuri rigikoraho? Nk'uko mugenzi wanjye abivuze, hari umubyeyi wahoze avuga kare ngo kera turi batoya twe twiga ntabwo ushobora kubara inshuro nyinshi wahuraga n'ababyeyi ku ishuri. Atari kwa ubu ngubu twebwe dusa nkaho ababyeyi natwe twabaye nk'abanyeshuri, ko igihe cyose baba baduhamagaye. Ibyo bisobanuye iki? Bisobanuye ko ishuri rifite inyota yo kugira ngo ababyeyi bamenye ibyo abana barimo. Icyo gihe abana batwereka ibyo bakora, ariko ni n'igihe cyiza ababyeyi baganira n'ishuri ibibazo bihari. Biba kenshi pe, ku buryo ababyeyi rimwe na rimwe bavuga ati ariko se kuki bahora badutumira? So ikindi kikwereka yuko ishuri rifite inyota. Ibibazo ntibibura, ibibazo birahari, ariko iyo habaye ikibazo bashishikariza umwana kubwira umubyeyi, ariko niba ari ikibazo rusange bakora inama zihagije, bashishikariza ababyeyi kugira ngo batange ibibazo, ibishobora gukemuka ishuri rikabikemura, ibidashoboka gukemuka bakabiganira n'ababyeyi. Murakoze.
Thank you so much, Papa Joanna. Just a brief translation for those that were not able to get it. So he answered and said he was having a conversation earlier with another parent about how back then when they were in school, you could count the times that they met parents at school. And he's saying at Discovery, it's very often to the point some parents wonder why we keep calling them. But he says just that thirst to actually work with the parents on the growth and the preparation of their children. So thank you so much for a beautiful panel, for your insights. you've really helped us today understand from your perspective how you see discovery and the preparation of these students. So we'll not take all your time. We're all here for the students. They're going to also take us into what they've worked on. So I think it's best we end our session here. We're going to have more sessions, as mentioned. So thank you so much, Papa Joanna, Mama Bennett, Papa Yeza, and Mama Manata. A round of applause for our parents, our panelists, for their beautiful, for their knowledge and their insights. So yes, let's get back to our seats and we continue our program as it's